How does God respond to your most desperate prayers? In this season of my life, I've been learning so much about talking to God and listening to God. And when you consider those most desperate times in your life, the times of the greatest pain, the greatest need, the greatest anguish, greatest brokenness, and your prayers are so emotional, they're intense, they're loud, and we're crying out to God, just like the psalmist. I love the Psalms because David was so emotional, and he cried out to God. I live in the Psalms these days, but I think that we naturally expect God to respond in the same way that we are praying. And we desire Him to, of course, because in those moments we need Him, and we need Him right then. But I'm learning that it's actually the opposite. God responds very quietly, and it requires being very still, taking time to sit in His presence to actually hear Him. And when you think about the story of Elijah in 1 Kings 19, how he had just destroyed the prophets of Baal, and God had just moved mightily on his behalf. And then Jezebel came and said, I'm coming to do the same thing to you. I'm going to kill you. And he was terrified. He ran for his life. The Bible says he ran a day's journey into the wilderness, and he sat under a tree. And under that tree, he said, God, just take me. That he was suicidal, that he wanted to die. He feared for his life. And in the story that we said that there was a mighty wind that came, and it tore the mountains and broke the rocks, but God was not in the wind. Followed by an earthquake, and everything associated with the earthquake, and the energy and power and volume, but God was not in the earthquake. A fire, but God was not in the fire. And then it said, a still small voice. God spoke to Elijah in that moment in a still small voice. And a pastor that I greatly respect said this years ago. I never forgot it. He said, the longer you walk with God, the quieter His voice gets. Meaning He's saying, come and be still before me. Come to the quiet place. Quieten your soul and sit before me. And I'm learning that when I do that, I'm quiet and still, in silence even. That's when I hear the still small voice of God. And it's always so beautiful. It's always encouraging, and there's no question in those moments that I have heard from God. So I encourage you, get quiet, get still, and listen for the voice of God. He will meet you there.